to dance, makes me want to shout, kick my heels up, throw my hands up, toss my head back. No, really, people should be shouting your name in the street.
Come on now, sing that name.
Sing that song. Sing it out loud. Yeah, boy. Yeah. You make me wanna.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube, just barely. I forgot to set up the Facebook and YouTube stream. And I realized that as the show was beginning, I'm like, oh my God. So if you go to the live stream and you see a bunch of gibberish in the show description and the title, that's why. I was trying to do that all under pressure. I would make a lousy bomb diffuser. I really would. I don't handle pressure like that very well. But anyway, we're here on the show. Tonight, we've got guests coming in after 6 o'clock. This is exciting. I've been looking forward to this. We've got Mike and Stephanie Grable. They are running the Dayton UFO conference. That's going to be out there in Fairborn at the Hilton there on Presidential Avenue across from Wright State University on Saturday, July 11th. Tickets are on sale, by the way, now at Eventbrite. But they're going to be on the show tonight after 6 o'clock. We're going to be talking not only about the conference, but they are both highly involved in the public disclosure, the Citizens Public Disclosure campaign. So they're here to talk about all kinds of stuff. Of course, the conference, but all kinds of cool UFO stuff. And I've got a couple of questions and some stories, and maybe we'll take some calls from people who have had UFO encounters of their own. Okay. The first thing I wanted to get to, we also have tickets to give away tonight for the Dayton Air Show. When you hear the sound effect of the Wright B flyer flying over the skies of Dayton, be the 6th caller, and you'll win those tickets, 937-957-1290. It'll happen, I can promise you, sometime before 6 o'clock tonight. The first thing I wanted to get to was this story I saw on WHIO.com. And one of the things I always look forward to every year doing the show, because I'm always looking for easy things to talk about, right? Because I don't cover things too political, or not political at all, but too deep generally. I just like having fun and just goofing on people and goofing on things and everything. One of the things I always enjoy is going through the list of rejected vanity plates that the Bureau of Motor Vehicles they've rejected. You know, people, they try to slide things in, right? They try to be sly. They come up with a crazy way to spell, let's say, like boobies, right? You'd say, oh, I want boobies on my license plate, but you can't just put boobies on there. So you would put OO8IES. And from a distance, it looks like boobies, but in reality, it's just ooities. But that's what they try to do. And so there's a board that go through these every year, and almost every year they reject almost 1,000 different vanity plates. So why am I bringing this up? Well, 2 reasons. One, a judge in the Northern District of Ohio has issued an order stating that the Bureau of Motor Vehicles can no longer reject plates simply because they, quote, can be interpreted, unquote, obscene, sexually explicit, or otherwise inappropriate. So I guess that opens the floodgates. And this all stems from a lawsuit, a federal lawsuit that 3 people here in the state of Ohio filed, saying that their First Amendment rights were violated because they couldn't put certain things on their license plate. Now, one of the guys who sued wanted to put the word gay on his plate. Now, it didn't say in the story whether he was gay or not. I guess it doesn't really matter. But he wanted to put gay on his plate, and they said, nope, you can't do that. You can't do it. It's too sexually explicit, obscene, or otherwise inappropriate. That's what they said. So now, if there's been a license plate that you've always wanted, and you weren't able to get it past this board of rejectors, now might be the time. This might be the time. And I was thinking, maybe you've got one of these vanity plates that you've wanted for a long time. Maybe you'd like to call in and share with us what it is and how clever you are and how you want to slide it onto that plate without anybody noticing. Because that's one of the things my wife and I enjoy doing when we're driving around town, which we do frequently. We will see license plates that we can't quite figure out sometimes. Sometimes it comes to us right away. Oh, I know what they're saying there. Other times we're like, what are they saying? Is this an inside joke? Like maybe it's just for them? I did have a license plate. A personalized license plate, vanity plate, when I was younger. When I first got my license and got a car, I was a big soccer guy. I loved soccer, played soccer, the whole deal. And I worked with a guy who had a license plate, SOCR1, Soccer 1. And I was like so jealous. I'm like, oh, wow. So I got Soccer 2. That's right. Soccer 1 and 2 worked at the same place down in Centerville at the soccer shop. But then I got a little bit older and thought, man, what a waste of money those are. What a waste of money. That's a lot of money to spend just for, vanity. Speaking of driving, we have a couple of idiots of the week to talk about here.
You are a stupid, stupid idiot!
Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Idiot! Imbecile!
Wake up, idiot!
Silly dilly dilpio. I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you could get Cheez-It. Maybe you could get Cheez-It or some variation of Cheez-It on a license plate. That could be. Or like Radio Todd. That's a little weird, though. Isn't that a little weird? Radio Todd. Hey, I'm Radio Todd. So this story is from Cincinnati, these idiots, and you will quickly see why I wanted to do this story. It's not that big of a deal, but the people who were arrested for this, I don't know why this collection of names just amused me. And let me just say, I'm not making fun of anybody's nationality or anything. These are all foreign names. I just want you to know that up front. The thing that's just made me giggle is that I can imagine news people trying to read these names when they're telling the story, because these are some difficult names. So I thought I would just fall on the sword for all of us here at WHIO. Several people were arrested after allegedly trespassing and street racing downtown on Paycor Stadium property. Let's see. 6 adults were arrested. All will face different charges. Cops in Cincy were called just after midnight this morning when Paycor Stadium security called and reported people were racing in the terrace. That's a little dangerous. All right, here we go. Here's the list of those arrested. Sierra, down there in news, you're going to be happy you didn't have to read any of these names. All right, here we go. 28-year-old Tamir Navatov. He was arrested. He was driving a Ford Mustang. 19-year-old Medina Esanova. 23-year-old Bekdilo Kemadalueva. 21-year-old Delamurad Numeratov. Maybe he's brothers with Timur. 28-year-old Akmajan Valevi. And last but not least, 23-year-old Momtuzakan Zabravova. I have no idea if those were pronounced correctly. I'm guessing not. But those that's as close as you're going to get. That is as close as you're going to get. And all those guys are facing charges now for being idiots and driving and street racing down on the terrace at Paycor Stadium. But, man, I'd love to see, like, James Brown read all those names. I mean, James Brown is a stud, but I don't know if he can handle all those names.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's education, it's entertainment, it's fun for the entire family, and it is the most American thing in all of America.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right, let me see if I can go in, fix the all the info on the live stream. Man, oh man. All right. Okay. Think we've got it fixed now. Lordy, lordy. All right. Well, D, you know what happened? I forgot I was tied up with something else, and I forgot to type in the the topics of the show, the correct title. I was scrambling.
Why'd I go to the doc?
Injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, treatment is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections, or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor.
Hi, Sherry. Hey, Colleen. How you doing? Hey, Daniel.
The Troy Strawberry Festival coming up this weekend. We'll have more on that at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Oh, we're going to have so much fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Of course, that was the Right Beat Flyer, which, as they say in the radio business, is your cue to call. Be the sixth caller, 937-957-1290. You're going to pick up a 4-pack of passes for the Dayton Air Show that's happening next weekend. These tickets are for Sunday, by the way. This year, the Blue Angels will be there, a F-22 Raptor, an F-53 U.S. Navy F-53C, the F-15 Eagles, the F-16 Falcons, the C-17 demo team, and the Golden Knights, and so much more. So if you'd like those tickets, be the sixth caller. 937-957-1290. I just watched I got News Center 7 on in here, and they just did this story about these people that were street racing down at Paycor Stadium. Neither James Brown nor Gabby Enright tried to pronounce any of those names I just stumbled over. Those are some strong names, man. Some strong names. I thought, I told somebody I'd share this. This is an event that's going on Saturday, June 13th. This is the U.S. Military Vets Motorcycle Club. Let's see, OH8, I think is what he said. But if you're a biker, or you want to be a biker, or you know some biker friends, this is going to be happening on June 13th. It's the 5th annual Polka Run, helping veterans and veteran families. It starts at the Piqua VFW, stops at Al's Place Bar and Grill, Myers Tavern, The Pines, and finishes at the Piqua VFW. There's cash prizes, $500 best, $100 worst hand. And this goes to a great cause. It's helping U.S. military vets. It's the Dead Poets. I guess that's the name of their motorcycle club. That's cool. If you want more information, you can check them out on Facebook. There's also a telephone number here, 937-279-7572. We were going to try to get them on Wing It Wednesday to promote this, but we ran out of time. We didn't have any openings before the event. But maybe later on this year, they'll have another one. We can get them on the show because I'd love to meet them.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's education, it's entertainment, it's fun for the entire family, and it is the most American thing in all of America.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Live from the WHIO.
Thank you, Dee. Take care. Have I heard any more about the John Mellencamp concert tickets? I'll have to check. I mean, I know the show's in August. Julie, did you win tickets? You'll have to forgive me. I don't remember. If that's what the question was. I may not have just sent them yet. I mean, I do have them, but I just haven't sent them out yet. Maybe that's what you're asking. I don't know. Okay. I will check on that tomorrow. I just may not have sent them yet. I'll have to go back and look and bing bing ding 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 ding. Hey, John.
Valley's radio station, WHIO.
Depend on it.
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
Could this day get any more fantastic?
Let's get on with it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. Coming up after 6 o'clock, we've got a couple of in-studio guests, Mike and Stephanie Grable. They are putting together the Dayton UFO Conference that's going to be in Fairborn on Saturday, July 11th. They'll be in talking about that cool event. I went last year. It was a lot of fun. And we'll also be talking about UFO disclosure. Ooh. A little bit like Coast to Coast, I guess. Where's my little clip here?
I'm not saying it's space aliens, right? But it goes without saying it's space aliens.
Exactly. So they're going to be here talking about it. Going on this weekend, this is such a cool event. I remember going to this when I was a kid. St. Helens Spring Festival. This has been going on now for over 70 years. That's crazy. That is nuts. I mean, think about how many festivals there are out there. How many have been going on for over 70 years? That's incredible. But it kicks off Friday, runs through Sunday. And I used to go to this with my grandma Hollst. My grandma and grandpa Hollst lived on Mertland, which is right off of Burkhart. And what would happen is Grandpa would drive me and Grandma down to to St. Helens right there on Burkhart, dump us off, and he'd go back to the house and hang out, do whatever grandpas do. And then after a couple of hours of fun and frivolity, and Grandma had enough of me, she would walk into the office there at the church, hand them her dime, and say, hey, can I use the phone, because it costs a dime, to call and have my husband come pick me up. Well, they this is so funny and so cheap. They had a scheme going. Grandma would pay the dime. She would call the house and she'd let it ring twice and then hang up. And that meant it was time for Grandpa to come pick us up. And she saved a dime. That's what she saved. Holy cow. But this is a big deal. Lots of family fun. They got rides. They've got lots of food. They're world famous cabbage rolls, bourbon chicken, kettle corn, corn on the cob, pulled pork, pizza, walking tacos, and burrito bowls, brats, burgers, and you had me at funnel cakes. And of course, there'll be all kinds of fun gaming, raffle tickets, music. Let's see, they've got Spongeworthy, seen them. Ithaca, seen them. I played them on the Evening Edge Local Music Showcase. The Hathaways, seen them. The Doug Hart Band, I don't think I've seen them. Britches Down, haven't seen them either. But you can get the full rundown at sthelenfestival.org. Once again, it's this Friday, June 5th, starts at 6:30, goes until 11, Saturday 1 to 11, and Sunday 1 to 9. We have a Dammit dog.
The Misadventures of Dammit Dog.
Dammit dog! You know, we all love our dogs, but sometimes they just create all kinds of havoc and chaos and confusion, and you're just like, damn it, dog. And that's what we do here. By the way, before we get to the Dammit dogs, I've been back from vacation now for 2 days. I haven't seen anything new on Stella. That missing dog from the Beaver Creek area that has a $25,000 reward. I was watching it very closely when I was on vacation last week, and I don't know if there's been any sightings. I haven't heard. Maybe somebody knows. I know that there was a lot of talk and clamor online about don't chase. And then I've seen like 3 or 4 other lost dog postings where they're very adamant, don't chase. So I'm just curious if anybody knows what's going on with Stella. I haven't seen an update on WHIO.com or on social media. 937-957-1290 if you got it. Every once in a while, you go down to the Dragons game, and from time to time, they have again. Well, it's just entertainment. It's just entertainment for the fans. They have a bat dog. This is one of those dogs that in between batters, the dog will run out and pick up the bat and bring it back to the dugout. It's cute. People love it. You know, and it's cool that the dog is trained to do that. Well, this happened while I was on vacation, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But this happened last Monday in Oklahoma. It's a AA team called the Tulsa Drillers, and there's a Dodgers outfield prospect by the name of Kendall George, and he was playing in a game and suffered an injury while trying to jump out of the way to avoid a bat dog. So the way this is supposed to work, because I used to work for the Dragons. I was the director of entertainment, and I remember working with folks like this that have these bat dogs. The dog is not supposed to take off until he gets a tap from the handler, because then he knows it's safe, the play is safe, that he can go and get the bat and not, be in any trouble or get into a collision like this. The dog doesn't know just when to run. The dog, you got to tell the dog. You give him a little tap and he goes. That's how they're trained. Well, I don't know if he got a tap or no tap, or this dog just had a mind of his own, but he took off for this bat. And when he was going for the bat, the runner was coming in and this guy had to jump, and he injured his patellar tendon. And now I guess he's injured. He's injured. And now they're talking about doing away with the bat dog. Now, I don't know if this bat dog is there every night or if this is one of those traveling bat dogs. I'm not sure. But it seems sad that this dog may lose its gig because of, this unfortunate incident. But it's pretty, you see that a lot. You see the bat dogs, and that's cool. I'm sure that that's had to happen before. Bat dog gets a little excited, runs out there on the field. Wonder if there's ball dogs out there. You would think there'd be more ball dogs than bat dogs. Probably have a tough time having a ball dog at the ballpark, right? Here's a second Dammit dog story. This happened in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Cops are investigating an odd shooting there. A dog is being accused of pulling a trigger and shooting a woman. This happened at the end of May. Police there responded to a report of someone being shot by a BB gun, but when officers got there, it was actually a shotgun. It turns out that there was a person who had a truck with an attached camper, pulled up to I guess a gas station or something, got out and went inside. Their dog, which was loose in the car, and I don't know how long they were going to be in there. They could have been in there for like 3 or 4 minutes. The dog, I guess, got a little hasty and jumped onto the front seat and landed on the trigger of a shotgun that shot, I guess, through their car across the street and hit some woman in the arm who was waiting at a traffic light. Her injuries were not considered life-threatening, and a family member took her to the local hospital. But cops discovered that the dog moved from one side of the truck to the other and hit the shotgun trigger. Cartridge had been in the weapon, and it fired, hit the woman. Police there reminded people that in Nebraska, it is illegal to transport a loaded shotgun in a vehicle. I don't know if that's the case here. Might be. But from time to time, we have those stories of people getting shot by their dogs. I think we had one a year or so ago. Gun was on a bed, and the dog was excited, jumped up on the bed, and boom, shot the guy. It's Tasty Tuesday.
Why don't you go inside and get yourself a tasty snack?
One bite? They're real tasty.
How you got so big that you fold up this kind?
It was tasty, delicious, and tasty.
When you're hungry, everything looks tasty.
That was tasty little hors d'oeuvre.
Love talking about food because it's one of the few things we can all sort of agree on. We may not agree on politics or sports teams or whether we use the metric system or the what was the other? What's the other system? We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember. The Imperial. That's right. Thank you. Though some woman called in and tried to tell me I was wrong, but I thought I was right. And it turns out I was. This Thursday, down at one of my favorite restaurants in town, All the Best Delicatessen. This is going to be a sight to behold. I'm going to try to make it down there for this. They have teamed up with a company called DEXA, which they are a autonomous commercial aviation company. And what does that mean? Drones. So this company, DEXA, and all the best delicatessen have teamed up to complete Ohio's first pastrami sandwich drone delivery. And I think this is a brilliant idea. It's happening Thursday, 10:30 to 11:30 is when the event's going on. The launch is at 11 a.m. And I love this, but I wish they would have talked to me first, because I think a great promotion would have been to have them deliver one of the hottie toddy kick-in meatloaf sandwiches right here to the studio while the show was going on. I'd go out there with a microphone and that would be great. We could have done it right here on the show. But nonetheless, this is going to be fun. So if you're down in the Washington Township, Centerville area this Thursday, 10:30 to 11:30, you can watch history be made right here in the home of the birthplace of aviation, Ohio's first pastrami sandwich being delivered by a drone.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
I love this show.
It's fun to listen to.
Locally grown.
Here in Dayton.
Seriously funny.
It's a crackpot with wild ideas.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
I'll be right back. I got guests I got to grab. Mike, I'm sure he.
More on that at 6. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This will be fun for all of us, won't it?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. Coming up after the news here at 6 o'clock, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this. We've got Mike and Stephanie Grable. They are putting on the Dayton UFO Conference, which is happening Saturday, July 11th, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the DoubleTree by Hilton there in Fairborn, the conference center. I went to this last year, and it was a good first-year start. I've done events for a very, very long time, working in radio and entertainment, and first-year events are not easy. Oh, my gosh, they're not easy. All kinds of things pop up, and you never, what do we do? What do we do? But these folks, this is year number 2, and this is great. So they're going to be on. We're going to be talking about the conference. We're also going to be talking about UFO, the public disclosure, citizens disclosure. They're heavily involved in that. Also, we may take some calls and just chat about what's going on with UAPs and UFOs and little green men.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Who, Todd? Okay, yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
It'll all be good. It'll all be good. All right, let's see here. We are on 3 and 4, correct? Yep. All right. Say hello to my guests, everybody. We've got Mike and Stephanie. I think I spelled Grable right. Grable, correct?
Correct.
Awesome.
That's right.
All right. Well, so to tell the story, I had gone to a Bigfoot festival in Hocking Hills with a bunch of my friends some August. It was a couple of years ago. And when I came back, I was talking to our program director, and I was like, it was really cool. I mean, it was a lot of vendors, but it was just a fun event. Bigfoots were walking around in costume. It was just kind of fun. And I said, why doesn't Fairborn have a UFO festival? This should have been like done decades ago. This is like a no-brainer. So he's like, oh, well, you ought to, bring it up on the air and talk about it and just try to get some interest. So that very night, I'm on the show and I just talk about the Bigfoot thing, talk about the UFO idea. And next thing you know, Bill calls and says, I was just listening to your show and I just came out of a meeting about a UFO festival in Fairborn. It was meant to be, that kind of thing. So I ended up working with him and his team and we I did mostly my role was just promotion, kind of like what I'm doing with you guys. There was an interest at first of me like being more heavily involved, but I was like, I don't, because my position on the whole thing with the UFOs, I was thinking, or the event, I was thinking more of like a festival where there's like the Bigfoot thing, right? Not so much like having the experts come in. I was thinking the other way, but I understand the value of this, and this is a really good way to get it established,
right?
And I understand that. So, but that's not really in my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is party, people dressed up as aliens.
Well, we want to do that too.
Yeah, we want to do both.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also
we'll talk about that.
Full disclosure, we did not run it last year.
Right.
So
right.
Bill and Dave.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was clear, but yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But no, we would love to have it grow, and we tried to kind of like spur it this year. But it's the weekend after July 4th. Fairborn knows how to do festivals. They have a 3-day July 4th festival.
Yeah.
So no one's going to do back-to-back.
Right. Yeah. So I totally get that. I totally get it.
Well, we're willing to change the date,
right,
to accommodate Fairborn's festival. So moving into next year, that's something.
But it's a case of whether, like, do they want to put on another event, because it's a big lift, and that's the thing. And they just have to be sold on the idea. And I think, having your event a little more manageable than trying to do something big and having it possibly fizzle, it's better to, hey, look what we've done with this. And this is going to be bigger and better than it was last year. I just know it.
Yeah. And it could grow, we could grow into the festival.
Yeah.
After it gets established, because, we want to attract our speakers have spoken internationally.
Yeah.
We want to speak now international speakers, and people on the coast, they know Dayton, they know Wright-Patterson, and they know its place in this, in this phenomenon. So we think there's a kernel there to grow from.
Right. Well, I agree. I agree. So
I'd forget. You did share that story with me, Todd. I don't think I shared it with
No.
I forget,
No, I understand.
I've got so many
you got so many things going on. I get it.
She asks good questions and I give horrible
I get
answers.
it. I had to text you last night. Are you coming tomorrow or next week? I'm sitting in here, because I wanted to promote it, but I was like, my notes are on my desk, and I'm like, I didn't put it in my phone calendar. I think when I talked to you, I was thinking vacation mode. I was like,
that's right. You were halfway out of.
Stephanie, do me a favor. Yeah. If you want to lean back in your chair, that's fine, but pull the mic closer to you. And then turn the base of it the other direction, like that. Okay, now pull the arm that way. There. Yeah, there, just like that.
So your face
there you go.
Your face isn't
there you go. Yeah, I want you to talk right into the mic.
But yeah, so Contact in the Desert in California I mean, they have thousands and thousands. It's a UFO. It's a conference like ours, but that is where everyone dresses up, and it's a blast.
It's like a con.
We'll get to it. We'll talk about all of it. All right, here we go.
At 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
WHIO is all news.
Dayton's news
all talk.
And talk.
All the time. The WHIO News Traffic and Weather Center is active. If news breaks, we'll break in. This is the Miami Valley's radio station, WHIO.
Depend on it.
Time for action. Well, the radio is on.
I've been waiting all day.
It's go time. That's the big thing today, radio.
Getting restless?
Speak into the microphone, Squid Brain.
Let's start the show.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'm not saying it's space aliens, right? But it goes without saying it's space aliens.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. This hour, we've got a couple of in-studio guests, Mike and Stephanie Grable. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Great, Todd. Thank you.
Well, of course, I'm glad to have you here on the show, and thank you for the big box of Carly's cookies. Holy cow.
She does it right.
Oh, my gosh.
Downtown Lebanon.
Oh, they look good. They look great. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But Mike and Stephanie are here because of the Dayton UFO Festival that's going to be happening on Saturday, July 11th, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's one day, and I love this flyer. This is a great flyer. Real discussions, unexplained possibilities. But I was telling you guys off the air 100% that, this is long overdue. Now, last year there was the first Fairborn UFO conference, and that was a great start. And that was done by Bill and Dave, the late Bill. I called him UFO Bill here on the show. And that was a great start. But you guys have sort of taken it. Bill has passed. And you've taken this, and we're taking it to the next level. And now it's not just the Fairborn, it's the Dayton UFO Conference. So let's talk about, and you're going to talk about a number of things, by the way, tonight, whether you like it or not. No, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about disclosure and citizens disclosure and the public information that has been, you folks and many others believe has been withheld. And there's a huge movement going on right now. Things are being revealed, files are being released. And of course, we can't forget the Steven Spielberg movie this summer, Disclosure, or Day of Disclosure Day. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Ever think that this is all just big one marketing scheme for the movie?
People brought that up.
Spielberg has that kind of juice.
He does.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into all that, let's hit the basics here. Let's talk about this really cool event. I went last year, and it was a lot of fun. You had lots of vendors out there. You had some UFO experts. But from what I'm seeing, and I follow you guys on Facebook, and I would encourage everybody to do that as well. If you're interested in this kind of thing, even if it's just sort of passing interest,
even if you're not interested.
Well, right. Just follow it anyway. Right. But you've got some big time guests coming on, folks that I've heard on Coast to Coast, folks that I know have been talking about this, not just here statewide, or stateside, but around the world. Yeah. Yes. So let's talk about that. Who's coming?
Okay, well, our keynote speaker is Danny Sheehan. So he's one of the spears, or tip of the spears for disclosure.
Okay.
He is a constitutional attorney, was involved with Stephen Greer's disclosure project all the way back in the 90s. And he is involved in helping to write legislation for transparency from the Congress.
Whistleblower protection.
Yeah, whistleblower protection.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is one of the tips of the spear. He's all over kind of the world, and he will be our keynote speaker.
He also represented Lou Elizondo.
He represented Lou Elizondo. He represented Dr. John Mack, who was back. He's was at Harvard as well. Danny's Harvard Law School.
Let me ask you this: when you throw out some of these names, if you know a little bit of their background or how they're sort of connected to the UFO story, include that, because I don't know a lot of these names, and I know many of my listeners aren't going to know. Folks in your circle, I know that guy. That guy owes me money. But maybe, when you do that, just let us know who that might be.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know how deep into the weeds.
Oh, that's okay.
We could get real deep.
It would just like to know what their background is. Like what, did they have an experience? Were they on a government agency? That kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So Danny Sheehan, he's the head of New Paradigm Institute and Citizens for Disclosure, with whom we're involved.
Okay.
President Carter, or President-elect Jimmy Carter, had an experience back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And when he was elected president, he wanted to know what the intelligence, the military, and the U.S. government knew about UFOs. And so his cabinet reached out to Danny Sheehan, who was involved he was still involved at Harvard and involved, on some major cases. So they kind of hired Danny, or asked Danny to go do some digging. And Danny went down to the basement and looked through some Project Blue Book files.
I remember that show. Oh my God, I love that show.
And Project Blue Book was based at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and it was mothballed in 1969. But anyway, Danny went through some files and saw photos of crashed UFOs and military folks taking photos and films of them. So he was convinced, and whatever it was, 76.
Yeah.
He saw the classified photos, and he was all in. From that point.
He's your keynote.
He's a keynote speaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So I mean, he's currently involved in legislation for the disclosure.
Sure. Who else do we have coming?
Yeah. So we have Ray Shemansky, who is a local Dayton resident. He is a retiree from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, 38 years as an engineer behind the fence.
Oh, wow.
He's got some stories.
I was going to say he's seen some lights.
He has some stories, and he has written 3 books about UFOs. He's done his own research. And he's spoken internationally.
So I love that it's a local, local guy. It's not just all these, people that are that have an intimate relationship with the area, right? They know. Yeah.
Yes, we thought that was important.
Sure.
Especially, the conference is right down the street from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Yeah.
So so that that's key.
Yeah, people don't know Dayton; they know Wright-Pat.
Right. They do. Yeah, especially in the UFO community, because that's the story. Is the Roswell crash? Again, if you believe all these things, that craft was brought here to
in the beings
hangar 18. And I asked the question, there's that poster over there on the wall, what's in that hangar anyway?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ray Zemansky will
tell us.
We'll probably try to address that. We also have Donald Schmidt, who has written almost a dozen books on the Roswell incident. So he obviously has been, inextricably linked to Wright-Patterson, and he has done he has done a little bit of a dive into Wright-Patterson, but he is more of the Roswell expert. So he's coming from out of town. He has spoken internationally. Then we have, Tom Wertman, who was there last year. He is the director of MUFON, Mutual
I met him.
UFO Network. And so he is the Ohio director. So he has investigated UFO cases in our state and in the region for years. So he'll tell a few stories, and he is also our MC. Jeffrey Wilson he's an Ohio person. He is an expert on crop circles and
And it's not exactly what you think. It's
crop circles
crazy.
and the Serpent Mound.
Okay, so it's not farmers out there with their drunk buddies walking around.
Well, you know, they see things too. They're legit.
Some of them are those.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey will be speaking. We're excited to have him.
Ashley
Hilt. She is a local Dayton resident. She was there last year, and she has done her own research. She's did a deep dive into Mothman.
Oh, I remember. I sat in one of her presentations. Yeah,
Okay,
I saw that.
So she'll be speaking about Mothman and the connection with Men in Black.
Ah,
and then Linda Haley.
And then Linda Haley is an experiencer. She's had contact with non-terrestrial beings. She's written a book, and she will be running our experiencer forum. So we're going to open doors to a smaller room for people who have had experiences but are afraid to talk. Can't talk to about it with their family or friends.
And she runs a Reiki center.
And she runs the Reiki center in Columbus. Yes.
Okay.
So she's very experienced.
So did I get them all? Danny.
Well, you hit a lot. You hit a lot. I mean, that's a lot to whet everybody's appetite. So, well, that's amazing. And now, so not just with these speakers, you're also you're going to have vendors, and I'm sure you've got people returning. You're still looking for vendors, right?
Yes. Before we move on from the speakers,
sure.
The event actually starts Friday evening.
Okay.
So we have a VIP meet and greet reception.
Oh, nice.
We're only selling 25 tickets total. We only have a handful left. So that will happen at the hotel from 7 to 9 Friday evening.
Oh, that's cool.
And all of the speakers so far have committed to participating in that.
So appetizers are included. There's going to be a cash bar, and they're reserving that area for us. So it should be a really intimate time where you have connection. You have time to speak to all these speakers and really engage.
Wanted to make sure we throw that out. So yes, the
Yeah.
conference is all day Saturday, but Friday evening it actually starts with our private reception with speakers. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. So you're going to have the vendors there.
Yes, we will have multiple more vendors than last year. So to go back a little bit, we are in the large side of the hotel conference center this year.
That's great.
So our conference room is bigger. We actually have access to 4 conference rooms. So we have the main ballroom as going to be our main event.
Right.
And we can seat almost up to 400 people.
That's amazing. Because last year it was a little smaller scale.
Yes.
And it was a little tight and crowded, but it's great that you guys were able to get that taken care of.
Yes, we're excited about that.
That's awesome.
We do have some vendor tables and booths available as well.
Okay. All right. So, and Stephanie, you were telling me that you were encouraging people to dress up in costume, right?
No, I said for the.
Oh, I thought we were.
No. When we were talking about the festival.
Oh, well.
And maybe Fairborn having a festival.
Oh, I see.
I was just saying.
Okay.
In other conferences like Contact in the Desert, that's what they do. But they're
but if somebody comes dressed up, you're not going to.
Oh my gosh! By all means, that's
that would
fantastic.
Be awesome.
We would love it.
Get your antennae out.
But we are having a car decorating contest out front.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They could come, in their
match
costume.
Match their vehicle. All right. Well, you guys are going to be here for the hour, so hang tight. We also have a pair of tickets to give away to the event.
We do.
And if we can open up the phones. If somebody has an experience, maybe they'd like to share. Would you be willing to listen and talk to them?
We would love to.
Sure, we'd love to talk. We're not experts.
No, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, we love to hear
and
everyone's story.
Yeah.
That's one of the wonderful things about this topic.
So if you've got a story or something you want to share, 937-957-1290.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
I love this show.
It's fun to listen to.
Locally grown.
Here in Dayton.
Seriously funny.
He's a crackpot with wild ideas.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
All right, our mics are on. I always like giving everybody a heads up. Your
Yeah,
mics
thank
are
you.
on. Well, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Are you doing the disc golf thing? Did you?
We tried,
Yeah.
and the later date in July just didn't work for the group that
okay.
ran it.
You know, we just found out not just a few months ago that this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it was
because of
late
Bill's
February,
health.
early March.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just broke our heart thinking that we were going to lose momentum and this may not happen again. So, you know, we just jumped in.
Right.
You know,
Well,
we got to keep this going.
I agree 100%. I agree.
And it's amazing, like you said, that nothing has ever been even thought about, you know, in terms of a conference or festival.
The biggest story, you know, one of the biggest stories, Roswell, leads here.
Yeah,
it leads here.
Right.
You know,
in the biggest story on the planet. Now there have been some others that have come up. Brazil, Virginia, Brazil, where there are witnesses actually still alive. So that's kind of surpassed Roswell
but you know what I told Bill and Dave when we first talked and I met them is that, you know, I've seen what they do out in Roswell as far as a UFO festival, and that's great and all, but people from Dayton, most people are not going to be driving to Roswell for an event like that. And there's nothing really like that in the Midwest.
Absolutely. That's why we're trying to call ourselves
Right.
Roswell of the Midwest.
Right. and that's the key. I mean, it would just be.
And you know, we are trying to take this into a more serious path.
No, and I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. You know, and with the base being here, not just from the scientific side of it and its connection to Roswell, but even people that might be interested in that sort of thing coming here. You've got the Air Force Museum.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's
incredible.
I would imagine that for a lot of those people, there's a crossover there. It's like they love aviation, they love, or are interested in the subject. So
yeah, it's my kids grew up going to the Air Force Museum.
It's
something to behold.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Linda's email address.
Did you get it?
No, we can guide them
Reiki
to the Reiki Center. Okay. Yes, and they can find her email address.
I don't have anybody on hold right now. I don't know what they called for.
Okay.
They probably might have been traffic or something.
How were you thinking about the tickets? How were you thinking about giving away the tickets?
Oh, I would. Let me think here. We could actually just do it. We could do it in this next segment. I could just mention, hey, they've got a couple of pair of tickets to give away, and if you'd like to go, and you can hit all those when it is the whole deal, because again, this is a short segment. So,
okay.
But I'll just follow my lead.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Ian, we're going to give away a pair of tickets for this event, but it's not in Be Creative. This is kind of on the fly. So if you could just write down, these are e-tickets, right?
They're just will call.
Okay.
We'll get their name.
Just get name,
email.
phone number, an email address for me, and I'll take care of it. Have you seen this recent story? You mentioned Men in Black. There was some guy, a philosopher and novelist, who was on a podcast who says that, Army veteran Lynn Buchanan told him the CIA had allegedly explored using genealogy websites as 23andMe and Ancestry to identify people with supposed genetic markers linked to extraterrestrials.
Yes. Jason Giorgiani, I think, is the one that made the statement.
Yeah.
He's got some fantastic ideas.
Yeah.
And all the scientists that have been missing, disappearing. Yeah. but that's just the handful. There's more where that came from.
All right, here we go.
At 6:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
It really is a lot of fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook and YouTube. I have a couple of guests on the show this hour. We've got Mike and Stephanie Grable. They are the force behind the Dayton UFO conference. It's going to be happening on July 11th. That's Saturday from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. There is an event the night before, a VIP event. You can get more details on their Facebook page for that event. Also, there's tickets available on Eventbrite, right, Mike?
With more details.
Yeah, with all more details. And it's also linked on my page. So if you sometimes fumble around Facebook and you don't know what you're doing, you can go to my page and you'll see a link to it. And we've got a pair of tickets to give away.
We do.
Yes, we'd love to give away a pair of tickets to 2 of your listeners.
Awesome. So if you'd like to go to this event, and like I said, I went last year and it was a great first year. This year's going to be even bigger and better. Be the 6th caller at 937-957-1290. And you'll talk to Ian and we'll hook you up with those tickets. A little hard to talk. These cookies are from Carly's Cookie Company. I wasn't expecting this. I told you off the air on Wednesdays, we do Wing It Wednesday. And I always go out there and I expect to see somebody outside the front door with a bag of wings. I wasn't expecting to see you guys with a big bag or a big box of cookies. I mean, that's crazy. So Thank you.
Carly is she makes addictive cookies.
Yeah. All right. When we come back after the news, I've got a couple of questions about how you got into this and how what triggered your interest. Did you have an experience or what was it? So stick around. We'll be talking to Mike and Stephanie Grable from the Dayton UFO conference here on the Evening Edge.
What am I listening to now?
What is this? It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's education, it's entertainment, it's fun for the entire family, and it is the most American thing in all of America.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right. I'll wait.
Why?
I was going to eat another one.
Well, why wait?
Well, okay.
She has one. It's kind of like everything but the kitchen sink, and she was out of them tonight or today. But those are my favorite. But
like there's walnut in there.
And you know what? She is a good of a person as her cookies are good. I mean, she's a phenomenal human being. We love her.
Awesome.
Yeah. She doesn't treat anybody like a stranger. Doesn't that distract you, having that on?
Oh, the new? Not really.
I guess, you're used to it.
Well, I like watch during the local, the 90 minutes of news, 5 to 6:30, because if I see something breaking, then I can always divert.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what it is, I also like to see what stories they're doing in comparison to what I pick, like for my show. And it's just sometimes
how do you pick?
Funny.
Pick and choose.
Excuse me while I was cooking.
Go ahead.
So because I don't do a political show, and I mean, I'll talk about serious things, but it's more just fun and nonsense. The show's really kind of built around my reaction to whatever might be happening, whether it's the news, whether it's a caller, whatever it might be. It's just kind of my reaction is what makes the show. So when I go through my news every day, I get tons of emails, like Google news alerts. Like I set up all these different categories. Like I do a feature Florida man, crazy Florida man stories. So I just have Florida man arrested. And every day I'll get like 20 emails or 20 different stories in one email that talks about Florida man being arrested. Now, some of the Florida man arrests they're not anything I would talk about, like legitimate crimes. But when I get a Florida man arrest where a guy tries to break into an alligator petting zoo, and fights an alligator, then of course that's going to be on the show. So that's kind of the way I look at things. Like today I had a story. I don't know if you were listening on your way in, but
we were.
We were.
But Dave called.
Actually, Dave called us.
McWhorter.
He was all excited about us coming on tonight, so we missed the middle segment probably.
Yeah, he said he was going to get everyone at UFO 101
to watch. Yeah, but
I have a story about some guys that were arrested street racing down at Paycor Stadium.
We heard the first part of that story, yes, but we didn't hear the whole thing about their names.
Yeah, and I said, I'm not making fun of anybody's nationality. People are named what they're named. That's just the way it goes. But what made me laugh was imagining all of the news anchors trying to pronounce these names. Timur Nurmatov, Medina Esanova, Bekadillo Kamidilla Avi, Dilamurad Nurmatov. I think they're brothers, him and Timur. Ajamajan Valevi. Momtazakun Zaburova.
Yeah, that's probably like John here.
Probably. What we
John
have
Smith.
is Peter, Gary, Bob.
Right.
But it was just, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like I just saw that and that's how I reacted to it. So I've been doing it long enough that even if the stories are a little goofy or weird, I don't mean it egotistically, but people are listening for me. They're not listening for me to do this story.
Yeah.
They're just listening for me to do something and respond to it or react to it. So
now, did you see someone cover that on the news and they avoided the names completely?
No, I just saw the story on WHIO.com.
Okay.
And then when I did the story, I made a joke about the main anchor on.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, James Brown. I said this, like, he's a stud and he's great, but I can tell you he's not going to try to touch these names. Well, during the commercial break, I'm sitting here watching the news, Channel 7, and they do this story. And I pop it in queue so I can hear what they're saying. They don't mention any of the names. They just say, 8 men were arrested. Like, see, I at least I fell on the sword for us all. But that's just kind of what my show is.
But they wouldn't expect any less.
Right. Right. Somebody asked me to ask you about Carl Day. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think you guys would know. Carl Day was a longtime news anchor here in Dayton who did some sort of investigation years ago.
That does ring a bell.
Hangar 18, but I don't really know the story.
And maybe you told me Carl Day.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay. Someone has told me about Carl Day, and I don't remember the specifics, but that name does ring a bell now that you tell me that.
But they can get on our Facebook page and let us know.
Yeah, share it.
Something.
Yeah. We're also on Instagram, and all three of the socials are Dayton UFO Conference.
Okay. Yeah.
So is this back in the 60s? You think?
When Carl Day was doing the research, I can't remember.
What's that?
Carl Day. We're trying to remember when he was doing his research. He
was a news anchor, and he worked for a while. He was here at 7, and then I think he was at 2 or 22. I forget. 22, I think. Channel 22. But he was here like through the 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Radio station, WHIO.
Depend on it.
Don't hesitate to call.
You call me. You better call me.
Damn it, get me a phone.
Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you.
You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'm not saying it's space aliens, right? But it goes without saying it's space aliens.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream on Facebook and YouTube. We're talking about the Dayton UFO Conference coming up Saturday, July 11th at the Doubletree by Hilton Dayton Fairborn Conference Center. And tickets are available at Eventbrite. You can get more details. They're on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Where else did you say, Mike?
Eventbrite.
Oh, Eventbrite.
Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram.
There you go. That's Mike Grable. Next to him is Stephanie Grable. They're on the live stream tonight. Here talking about this. So we've talked about the Dayton UFO conference, the origins of it, all the great guests that are going to be there, the folks that are coming in to speak. But I'm always curious when I meet somebody like you and you folks who are doing this, like what inspired you? Because here's the thing, and I've talked about this on my show a lot, and I know you're kind of new to my show. We just met for the first time tonight. We've talked on the phone a few times, but when I was growing up, there was a book in the library at Maine Elementary. It was about Bigfoot, and I saw a movie when I was a kid about it was Sasquatch, the Legend of Bigfoot, and it was this great movie I saw. A little hokey, but it was a great movie I remember seeing on a Saturday afternoon when I was a kid and just becoming fascinated. And that's how I sort of became interested in Bigfoot. And I talk about him on the show or talk about it. I'm sort of on the fence, and I admit that I'm kind of on the fence on the whole thing, but I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy hearing from the people who are researching it. I had folks from the Expedition Bigfoot on my show a couple of weeks ago when they were in town down at Victoria Theater. So I'm very open-minded to it and, the whole exploration of it. So when it comes to the UFOs and Citizens for Disclosure, how did you guys get involved in this? Did you have an experience, or is it just something that you're, just kind of interested in?
Well, something happened when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and it wasn't, I don't know what it was. It was a big round red light that shot across the street at midnight on Christmas Eve. And of course I knew it was Rudolph, 7 years old. That is Santa Claus and Rudolph.
There's Santa.
So decades later, I love history.
Yeah.
And I was just going down the ancient civilization rabbit hole. And just, thinking how much of our history is incorrect and we haven't been given the correct history, or it's been hidden from us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enormous giant skeletons that, you could go down this path forever.
Sure.
So just really thinking about how many times we've recycled, almost been depleted through some cataclysmic event. How many times has this happened? So just going down there and just seeing the ancient, researching the ancient cave paintings and writings of the Sumerians. So I was so interested in this and listening to actually on Joe Rogan. He had Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. And it was like a 4-hour,
marathon
podcast. Yeah, it was fascinating. So come to find out, they're having this first and only cosmic summit, and they were having all these experts in North Carolina. So Mike and I went, and he wasn't that interested at the time. So listening to all these panelists and the different, and it was archaeology, it was astronomy, it was UFOs. It was a little bit of everything.
Sure.
We had physics professors there. So it was just listening to conversations. I never took it that seriously until opening my mind up a little bit.
Gotcha.
And that is pretty much what got me into it, was the Cosmic Summit. And that was maybe 5 years ago.
Okay. So, Mike, it was your beautiful wife that kind of convinced you to become interested in the UFOs.
Well, I was on my own personal kind of search for truth.
Okay.
Maybe
Right.
more through religion and ancient texts.
Okay.
But I was looking over her shoulder at the ancient civilization issues and listening to the podcast she was listening to. And that's kind of the amazing thing is that search, those parallels began to kind of lead me to the extraterrestrial, like what were the Nephilim that's mentioned in the Bible, in the Old Testament quickly. And it just started broadening my mind, and I kept asking the next question, and asking the next question took me down some rabbit holes that did eventually lead to the potential for extraterrestrial being, interacting with us and the Earth,
sure,
for a long time,
right.
And once you do a deep dive, then you start getting into the cover up that the government and our intelligence agencies and the deep state, or
for 80 years,
however you want to label them,
yeah.
And then that kind of invigorates your passion. You say, wait, what? All this information is out there, all this testimony is out there, and it's being suppressed from us.
And that's how we found Danny Sheehan.
Yes. So it was kind of a mixture of doing the deep dives for personal truth seeking,
right,
Yeah.
right,
and starting to bump up against the cover up and the suppression of information, systemic, whatever word you want to use, from by and from our government.
And that's how you fell into Citizens for Disclosure.
Yep.
And that really sort of became your focus. And I think from the first time you and I talked, the way I sort of gleaned the information was that's where you were. And then this whole idea of a UFO conference was kind of not out of the blue, but I mean, this was something that just, that wasn't your goal was your first goal was not let's do a UFO event, right? It was something else, right?
Well, we tabled the event. We had a table there last year just to get the word out.
Representing Citizens for Disclosure.
Right.
So we've tabled several events in the region. MUFON. We did the Fairborn last year. We did Loveland Frogman Festival. So we were just tabling, getting the word out, doing our grassroots effort.
Yeah.
Which is what Citizens for Disclosure is, building grassroots, and then, working with our elected representatives in Washington, D.C. to educate them and to get them familiar with the topic.
Yeah.
Well, and we got to know the people who put on the conference last year, and then found out it was not going to happen in as Stephanie said earlier off the air. We were saddened to think that the Dayton region and the subject matter was not going to have a conference in this area.
Right. So, and that's when you stepped in and said, hey, we want to do something about this.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
So on the subject of disclosure, at one time the notion was, and I was sort of in that sort of arena where I thought, you hear these stories and you see these shows and you're like, okay, all right, blah, blah, blah. But now it doesn't seem as far-fetched. I don't know that there are aliens among us. That might be a little far for me, but I certainly know and understand the experts that have been on over the last couple of years who are, fighter pilots and professional scientists and people who had experiences and saw things. And, oh, by the way, here's all these videos of these UAPs that nobody can explain, that nobody has any idea where they came from. And suddenly it's not as crazy as it once maybe sounded, right?
No, and I think it's important to be a healthy skeptic. To look at this in a, with the science, but we obviously don't know the science, what Lockheed Martin doing, or, Northrop Grumman, what they have behind the scenes. But at the same time, it's very important to allow some space for what we don't know.
Right.
For the unexplained, because what's unexplainable now may be in the future, or it may not be. It may be science, it may not be. So it's important to be, I think, come at this with an open mind, and also be a healthy skeptic.
Right.
I would also add, Todd, and you make a good point that you're becoming more and more comfortable with the idea, right? That's because no one has talked about UFOs,
right?
And actually, it was a policy by the CIA to make fun of people who talked about UFOs. It's called the Robertson Panel, and it literally became their policy to demean people who came out in public. They wanted to criticize it and actually ridicule, right? Stigmatize,
right?
So, and they did a really good job. They did that for the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So that's what disclosure really is. We're trying to accomplish is to get rid of the snicker factor,
right,
and the smirk and the eye rolling factor, so that it can at least now we can talk about it and we can become, more open to the idea.
Sure.
Because a lot of people have high conviction that there are extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
There have been crash retrieved UFOs, and we are back reverse engineering this technology. It's that information has been suppressed through the mainstream media and through our entire society.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a foreign topic for all of us.
Pop on your headphones. We got a call. Okay,
great.
Let's see. We've got let you guys get plugged in there. We got Barry in Miamisburg. Hey, Barry, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I just wanted to bring up that they're lucky to be in this area for that conference. There are a lot of people who grew up around here, who have known pilots and engineers, who absolutely would not be surprised if a UFO landed at the airport today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't feel as though they can talk about it.
Called foreign technology. You ran a commercial about half an hour ago for Carillon Park. I knew a guy who worked on that code-breaking computer and has a couple of patents in computer technology with hard drives and things like that. And yeah, there were things they just would not talk about. They would just sort of smile, nod their head, and say, "How about them Reds?"
Barry, I appreciate your call. Thank you for that. Well, yeah, I know that. My dad, for a brief time, worked over at the base, and I remember him saying that one of the first times he was there, he was being taken somewhere down a hallway, and all the doors were just slamming shut because they didn't want anybody looking in to see what they were up to. But yeah, I mean that is true. This is a prime area for that. I've had people call my show before and say that they saw something or that they saw a light or whatever it is. And that's what I'm trying to do on this show. I mean, I know my show is not Coast to Coast AM. I'm not George Norrie. I'm not going to talk about UFOs and Bigfoot and all of those different things, Loch Ness, whatever. It's not really my thing, but there's a passing interest in it. So, I'm also all about the community. So this event is great for our area. And I'm grateful that you guys were willing to come on the show and chat about it for a little bit.
We appreciate you having us.
Great. Yes, we appreciate.
So
it's always fun to talk about.
Yeah. So hang tight. We're going to wrap up here in a moment. But there you go. We're talking about the Dayton UFO conference happening on Saturday, July 11th. You can get details on their Facebook page, or you can find it at Eventbrite.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's education, it's entertainment, it's fun for the entire family, and it is the most American thing in all of America.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
On so people can hear. I mentioned that with the fighter pilots. because, if I meet some, person on the street and they say, "Oh my God, I just saw this," okay, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But when you have, qualified military fighter pilots who are as serious as the day is long,
trained observers,
who are trained observers, who have, studied more than I could ever hope to study, about what they do, then suddenly it's like, well, wait a second now. We're not talking about some farmer out in the field who saw lights out in his, this is like, to me, that is legit. It's like, even if it's not aliens, it's something that needs to be discovered.
Absolutely.
It needs to be understood.
We're paying for it.
We're paying for it. And you don't know that it's a threat. I will say this, it is a threat because you don't know what it is. You know?
You can't say it's not a threat or it is a threat because you don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. Oh, I would argue that it is a threat because you don't know.
Sure.
Yes. Once you find out, then you can determine whether, maybe it's not a threat. But until then, you don't know what it is. So that to me is threatening.
These pilots, they don't know what's going behind the scenes again in the military industrial complex and the technology they have.
Right. Some people will claim it's nothing our military has. Well, these pilots aren't in the know. They're not read in.
Right.
They're not read in on all the programs. So there is that aspect of it. But the other aspect, what I challenge people now, because I think this is the most important topic of humanity, is if you do a deep dive into credible sources and you spend 3 good days, or let's just say 36 hours, and you do research and you listen to credible sources, the military, the whistleblowers that have come forth recently, the scientists, the intelligence officers that have come forward, there's no way that you will walk away and say, there's nothing here.
Right.
I mean, if you do,
and
I would question your how well of research you did.
Right. Yeah.
So
Your critical thinking abilities.
Anyone.
Yeah.
And mentioning those pilots, I mentioned Dr. John Mack back in the 80s and 90s. Danny Sheehan was his attorney. He was a Harvard psychiatrist, and the military and intelligence were sending him these military people to do a psychological analysis on them. So that was part of the fear factor is, do you really want to report this UFO that you saw? Well, if you're going to, then we're going to send you and do a battery of psychological tests on you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John Mack did enough of those where he went from a skeptic and a non-believer to, my goodness, there's something here.
Right.
These people are sane and they're all reporting similar things. And then it transitioned into abductions. They were sending him people who were claiming to be abducted, and the same thing happened. They're not crazy. They are clinically sane, and they are all talking about the same things.
Wow. And also that's where Danny Sheehan comes in with this whistleblower, because they're, not to mention their pensions, their lives are threatened, their families' lives. So
they're all
I don't think most
NDAs.
Of us would come forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing
fear.
too. Again, and I'm not, trying to diminish the common person out there who has an experience, but there really is something to this when you have people at that level of A, authority, or B, notoriety, or however you want to phrase it.
They have a lot to lose.
They have a lot more to lose than somebody like me. They have so much more to lose, whether it's, like you said, Stephanie, your pensions, your job, your credibility, all these things, everything, so it's one thing to, kind of
Neil Tyson.
Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Yes. Just came out, and he's kind of done a 180 because of the scientists that have been coming out with it.
And I've always kind of felt like that is where the rubber meets the road. When I had Dr. Mariah Mayor on show, and she's the woman who's in Expedition Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a primatologist. And, I had her on the show and I asked her point blank, I said, do you believe? And she says, as of right now, no, but I'm open. I'm open to the idea. That's what I want to hear from somebody like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the guy that lives off on the ridge of the woods and hears wood knocking at night. They're out there, I'm telling you. No, that doesn't do me any good.
It's not scientific.
Right. Hang on, here we go.
I promise this will be fun.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst. Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is on Facebook and YouTube. Just a couple of moments left here with my guests, Mike and Stephanie Grable from the Dayton UFO Conference and Citizens for Disclosure. This is going to be a great event on Saturday, July 11th, out there in Fairborn at the Hilton Dayton Fairborn Conference Center for the Dayton UFO Conference. Any last words you guys would like to share? We've just got a couple of moments.
Oh, just remember the VIP meet and greet Friday night.
Yep.
And if anyone's interested really in getting into this in helping us move the movement, the Citizens for Disclosure movement, we're always looking for volunteers.
We'll have a table there at the event as well. For Citizens for Disclosure. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look forward to seeing everyone at the conference.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good time, and I look forward to the future of it.
Me too. Oh my gosh,
Stephanie, I want people dressed up as aliens out there. That's what I want to see.
Let's do it.
That's what I want to see.
We might have a sighting. We might have a sighting.
We could do that. I'll put on a little green suit.
We welcome it.
Maybe not a little green suit, but I've got a green suit.
Green.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Thanks for listening tonight. I appreciate you as always. Don't forget, you can get the podcast of this show at eveningedgetodd.com. I'm also going to make this a Dark Edge podcast, so it'll be on there as well, so you can hear the whole thing, and because that's kind of in that realm, the Dark Edge. All right. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow just after 5 here on the Evening Edge.
We're done.
It's over already?
Yeah, should have been here sooner.
Game over. Sorry, guys, I gotta run, but there will be another show. When?
I'll be back tomorrow. Same crap, different day.
At least he's consistent.
And I